It would have been such a welcome addition to be able to get Mew underneath the truck. In a series as long running as Pokemon, there's always going to be a few opportunities that they should have took, but never did. It's only natural, of course. But I want to look at the biggest missed opportunities in the Pokemon series. The chances that they really should have taken, but they never did. Here are some of the biggest missed opportunities in Pokemon. Before we start, make sure to like this video as it really helps out my channel. Oh, and hit that subscribe button. You'd be surprised to find out most people who watch my videos aren't actually subscribed. Okay, let's get started. Missed opportunity 1. Red having your team using save data in Heart Gold/Soul Silver. Think about it, you play through the first generation games, you beat the Elite Four and become the champion, you start a new adventure by travelling through Johto, you reach the peak of Mount Silver, and who's waiting for you? Red. But the twist is, Red has your team. Now, in the original games this would not be possible. Gold, Silver, as well as Crystal were quite known for being very jam-packed with content, to the point where things like the Safari Zone were cut out. Not just that, but the capabilities of the technology at the same time were definitely not to the level they are now, so it wouldn't have happened. However, by the Gen 2 remakes, we were using the Game Boy Advance games to transfer Pokemon over to the PAL Park. What if you had the option to note down your previous team, and when you get to the top, face Red and he has your team from Fire Red and Leaf Green? If we were to make a new Gen 2 game such as like a Let's Go version, there's even more of a valid reason to do so. After all, technology has advanced even further to allow this to happen. The levels will be capped, of course. Say for example you put 6 Pokemon up. If your starter was the highest level, then that would be the level 88, so on and so forth. Can you imagine traveling through Generation 1, completing the game with your favourite Pokemon, and then having to face it in Gen 2? That would honestly be such a blast. Obviously, if you couldn't transfer over Pokemon, then you would just have a standard team to face against Red. But come on, who wouldn't want to face themselves? It would definitely add some nuance to the game. Missed opportunity 2. Mega Evolutions showing off previously undeveloped or underworked Pokemon. Now, don't get me wrong, I think Mega Evolutions were a pretty cool concept. It now has unfortunately leaned into being a bit of a generational gimmick. No new ones were added past Generation 6, so in my opinion, it's a gimmick. As time has gone on and I've managed to reflect on Megas as a concept a bit more, I feel like it should have been given to some Pokemon who deserve a chance to shine, instead of giving it to any Pokemon that was already strong. For example, 4 of the Mega Evolutions go to Suedo Legendaries. Like, these 4 guys are 4 of the strongest Pokemon already. In terms of viability online, it could be a bit different, but 4 of the most powerful Pokemon getting them, I mean, come on. And let's not even begin to talk about Mega Rayquaza. I feel like there was a multitude of Pokemon who could have really benefited from being given a Mega Evolution to boost their usability. If you think of Pokemon like Ledian or Butterfree, so on and so forth. I mean, Beedrill got one, and it gave it a mega attack stat. While it doesn't make it the most usable Pokemon in the world, it's nice to see a Pokemon that doesn't really have too much shine be given a chance. And I feel like Mega Evolution should have had that, or at a minimum should have been used more towards that. Missed opportunity 3, level scaling in Scarlet and Violet. Now, I think this goes without saying if you've watched any of my previous videos, but something that I really like about the Scarlet and Violet games is the fact that I can explore the games in any way I want. You can go to anyone at any given time, and in a Pokemon game that's something that I wanted for years and years. That's not to say that linear styles are a problem, I just think it's good to switch it up sometimes. However, I feel a missed opportunity was to not have any form of level scaling in Scarlet and Violet. It is the first of its kind after all. It's never actually happened before in a main series game like this where you can do this exploration. Yes, in some games like Generation 1 there are multiple gyms you can do in any order. Same with some in Generation 2. In Generation 4 you can swap like the fighting and water based gyms. But this is the first time you can fight the gym that was meant to be last first. The issue is it's not fully realised. The last gym is going to have last gym level Pokemon. It's a missed opportunity to not have like Gym 7, which is the Psychic type gym, technically be fought first. Instead of having level 40s, they would instead have like mid to high 10s or low 20s. And maybe even a different team. It would have just been a nice addition to the game to allow the gym to have a scaling system, so you can truly fight any gym in any order you want to do so. Because if you take on the Psychic gym, well then the rest of the gym should not be an issue at all. And the level scaling system solves that issue. Missed opportunity 4, Mew under the truck. Now, you've seen it in the thumbnail, and this was the actual reason I made this video. This is something that I have thought about for a very long time, and in my opinion should have been included as an incredible nod to the lore and mystery behind the Pokemon itself, and it would have added so much to the series. Now, for those who are not aware, many years ago, in a galaxy far away, a rumour went around that the mysterious Mew and its location in the original games was under a little truck just to the side of the St. Anne. Now, it was never real, of course. Everyone certainly tried it, but it was a rumour that took on a life of its own and added onto the lore of Mew as a Pokemon. And in the remakes, in my opinion, it should have been possible to do so. Whether that was in Fire Red and Leaf Green or the Let's Go games, it would have been such a welcome addition to be able to get Mew underneath the truck. Now, I don't think this should have been easy to get, of course. Mew has only ever really been given out in distributions such as the one currently going on in Scarlet and Violet, or in Emerald to get him on Faraway Island. If you were going to do this, you would have to make it an utterly ridiculous requirement. Let's say, for example, you have to beat the Elite Four 151 times. You have to see every Pokemon available in that copy of the game, as well as own them all. Or you have to beat each gym leader 151 times, so on and so forth. You're gonna have to make it a grind at the end of the day. Mew is a special Pokemon. They give them out for special events and we don't want to diminish its lore and how important it is. But could you imagine the nod to the fans of the series? You do all those ridiculous requirements, you went to that truck, and got a prompt that something was underneath it. It tells you to move it, you do, and boom, there's a Mew there in all of its glory. This is an opportunity to give a nod to the lore of Pokemon that has existed for years, and sadly, it's a missed opportunity. Now, I want to hear from you guys. What do you think is the biggest missed opportunity in Pokemon? What should the games, the anime, the trading card game have done that sadly they didn't take advantage of? Make sure to comment down below. Make sure to like and subscribe. I recently hit 500 subscribers and I can't thank you guys enough for that. See you next time, guys.